Hi everybody, this is just a quick video to let you know what happened to me this week. I posted on Instagram when I was in the hospital on Friday that I had fractured my wrist, and a lot of you reached out to me, and I thank you so much. I got a lot of people wishing me and giving me good prayers. I am in a predicament where I am a right-handed person and I live alone on 3 acres. So this is going to change my life a lot. And I'll talk in future videos about that, but I just wanted you to know that for right now, I'm going to take a hiatus from doing videos for a while, just because I need the rest. I need the time to adjust to what happened. I need to visit several specialists. I might need to have some surgery. I've fractured both bones of my wrist and some other places there. And I'm just going to tell you briefly what happened and how this happened to me so it doesn't happen to you as well. You heard in my last video, I was talking about the rental property that I own, that I was going to sell it so that I can invest the money in doing some rental on this property eventually in the future. And I was getting ready to put it on the market, and I was cleaning it up. I had already spoke to the agent, and she had told me, you know, get it ready and call me, and then we'll come look at it and list it for sale. So the very last day was for last Friday. I was at the property, and the very last thing that I was doing was touching up little things on the porch that needed to touch up. There was some mold there, and I was standing on a 2-step household ladder, and I use that ladder here at the house all the time when I have to change a light bulb, when I have to clean my ceiling fans. And what happened was, as I was coming down from there, I twisted my ankle, and I'll have a picture here of my ankle. Is actually getting better now. It's all bruised up, but I twisted my ankle. I fell off the ladder. I fell onto the grass. Luckily, I didn't hit my head against the concrete, because on the other side, I had the concrete wall. On this side, I had grass, the lawn. So I fell on there, and I landed on my arm, and I twisted my ankle. So when I first got up, I felt the pain in my ankle. I hadn't even noticed my arm, and I figured, okay, I sprained my ankle. I better close everything up and get myself to an urgent care. And then when I tried to reach for the ladder so I can bring it in the house, that's when I realized I couldn't use my arm. And I thought, okay, I must have sprained that as well. So I said, let me drive myself to urgent care. So because I was about 20 miles from home, and I thought, well, if I go to urgent care, I'm going to have to call a neighbor to come and pick me up and leave my car at their place. So I decided that I was going to go to the hospital near my house, which is only about maybe 6 or 7 miles. So I got myself in the car, took off. Luckily, Muffin wasn't with me. None of the pets were with me, and I was able to take off. And when I'm in the car, I realized, I looked down, my arm really started to hurt. And when I realized it's totally deformed, and I see, okay, this is more than a sprain. This is definitely broken. And I had to actually lift up my arm with my left hand and put it on my water cup, this water cup that I have in the front, and to let it rest there, because I couldn't keep it just dangling. I just couldn't do anything with it. So it basically sat there. So I kept driving. And then about halfway, my ankle was really sore. Like it was flaring up, and I was driving on it because everything's from my right side. So as I'm driving, I'm coming to an area now where it's mostly just farm places, and my hand starts to get numb. The hand that I'm driving on starts to get numb. This is my left hand that I'm driving with. And my leg is hurting a lot, and I start to feel a little bit dizzy, and I realize I'm not going to make it to the hospital. I'm going to pass out, or something's going to happen here. So when the light came up, I called 911, and I kept her. She stayed on the phone with me, and I said to her, I don't think I'm going to make it to the hospital. She said, you need to pull over somewhere. And I said, I don't have a place to pull over. Everything here is just like farms and houses. She's like, you got to find a place. I said, look, in about a minute, there's a church that I know of that's coming up. I know because when I first came to this area, I used to go to this church. I'm going to pull in there, because that way I can leave my car there if the paramedics come and take me away. She said, what's the name of it? So I gave her the name of it. And sure enough, as soon as I pulled in there, like a minute after I pulled in there, the paramedics were already there. So when they got there, they saw how serious this injury was. They were even surprised that I even attempted to drive in this situation. I feel blessed to be here today. I feel blessed that it wasn't worse, that I didn't break my leg and my arm as well. What it is, it's a wrist fracture. And the only thing for me right now is getting used to having to do everything with my left hand. My left hand tires a lot because I'm doing everything now with my left hand. Very difficult here to be able to do simple things like cut a tomato, use a scissor, do my hair. I have not been able to do my hair the way I do it. The only way I could do it is with one hand, kind of go up this way and go up this way here and keep it off my face, or wear a headband, or just, really hard for me to do lots of things. Bathing is another thing that I can't do at the moment, so mostly I'm just sponge bathing. I have my experience from RVing, from truck camping, from living on a homestead, where lots of things I don't know how to do. I didn't know how to do them, and luckily I am smart enough that I'm able to figure a lot of things out. And that's been the case here for me as well on this property, is that I am able to figure things out for myself, and I have good health. I'm strong, and whatever comes at me, I can go ahead and handle it, and I can grow from this. So one of the reasons my mom is not here taking care of me is because I might have surgery, and I just prefer for her to be here during that. If that is the time that I'm going to need that kind of surgery, then maybe it's going to be her. Some other people have offered to be here. So I prefer for those people who have offered to be here during that time. But hopefully by then I will already be adapted to the lifestyle of working with my left hand and doing all the things that I need to here. So this is just going to slow me down, but I think this is necessary for me at this time. For a while, God has been showing me that I need to slow down, that I do too much. For the first few days, I did take some medication, so I was pretty knocked out for the first couple of days on very heavy painkillers. As of yesterday, I'm not taking any painkillers. I refuse to take painkillers. I refuse to be subjected to medication. So I am pretty much dealing with everything that I have to deal with. I'm just being very cautious to heal my foot at this time, because my foot still is wobbly. It wasn't sprained, even though they did x-rays. It wasn't really completely sprained, so I'm grateful to God for that there wasn't a complete sprain there. It just bent out of shape, so I'm still able to walk. The next day I was able to drive to go get my car. A neighbor took me over there, but I realized that night that I have to be off of this leg because it's very shaky and there's not a lot that I can do here. So for right now, I won't be doing a lot. I'm just going to be resting, taking care of myself, taking care of the matters that I have to with the property and from here, from the house, because I can't really go anywhere, and just, enjoy this time that God set apart for me to be quiet, to reflect on all things, to learn about how it's so important to understand our bodies. In a moment, things can change in our lives, and how we have to be prepared for all of these things. And I'm surely learning a lot through all of this. That's all I have to say for today. I'm a right-handed person. I can't really do videos with my left hand. It would take me a long time. I could try, but for right now, I just want to rest at this moment. When I use this hand to do computer stuff, it cramps up on me after a while because, number one, I'm still weak. My hand is not used to so much work because most of my stuff I do with my right hand. So my left hand does get pain every once in a while because I'm using it so much and it's not used to being used so much. So for me, for editing and stuff like that, I mean, if I'm going to come on here and do a video, it's probably going to be a talking type of video. It's not going to be the kind of video where there's going to be a lot of, music and clips and things like that, because I just can't do things like that. So I hope you understand. I might do Bible studies in the future, whatever God leads me to. It's his plan, not mine. I'm not sure exactly why this happened. I do know that spiritually, I know that I am a target because I have been speaking the word and the truth of God, and I'm living a righteous and holy life right now. And I feel very blessed and grateful for the kind of life that I'm living, and I'm very happy. And you know, if that makes me a target, that makes me a target. But at the same time, I know that God provides, God protects, and I'm still here today, and I'm still going to be speaking his word as I move forward in later years. So I also want to say that as of today, April 11th, I've been on YouTube for 8 years. So this is the perfect time for God to say to me, you need a break, you need to take some time off, and I need to sit with you for a while so that we can get on to the next chapter of this channel. So I thank you so much for watching. If you're sending prayers, give me a thumbs up, and that way I'll know. I'm not going to be able to respond to the comments. It's just very difficult for me. Remember to type or say anything. The same thing with my posts on my social media. I just cannot spend a lot of time with my hand because it gets tired during the day, and I'm trying to use it for those things that are necessary, like, you know, taking care of my animals here, feeding them, trying to feed myself, cleaning up the house, and doing those simple things that I need to get done around here. So with that said, I thank you for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. God bless. I'll see you next time. Bye.